Hi folks, I'm going to do another oil painting demonstration today and yet another monochromatic underpainting. So you should have already seen another video on this subject, so I'm not going to review all the materials and all. I'm just going to dive straight in and not give it any thought. How's that sound? Paper towel, let's see, a little medium, a little paint, scrub it all around. This is of course, raw umber that I'm using. My canvas is already primed with gesso, which had some acrylic yellow ochre in it, and that's what gives it this nice warm yellow tone. So I want to give it this overall dark, and I'm just going to do some, I don't know, another winter scene because I do enjoy doing them. And let's see. So we'll wipe out the bottom a little bit to give us some foreground. Now you could even clean this up a little bit more if you were so inclined by taking a little medium and selecting it up. But what I'm going to do is I want to paint a dense bit of trees. So I'm going to wipe out some like that. There you go. I'm going to do this all over. I've got a little medium in this, so it helps move the paint off. So you can already see it taking shape. Again, this is oil paint, so you might want to use, if you're concerned about what's in oil paint. And I know people have varying health issues, perhaps, that would make them, worry about the solvents and all that. You probably should use some rubber gloves if you do concern yourself with that. You know what's strange? I'm accidentally getting this little flicker on here, so I'm gonna kind of pat here and there. Gonna pat out just to break up that background. Okay, so there are some light trees. And I'll come back later to do some, let's do a little bit of it now, let's just do this now and be done with it. That way I don't have to work around other things. What I'm doing is I'm using that little rubber tool that I've talked about before, and I'm scraping out. Yes, I am recording. How nice. More often than, well, I shouldn't say it's not that often, but every now and then I go on and on and on, and I realize that I was going to say tape recorder, shows my age, that the video is not happening. So, got to do it all again. So every now and then it's a good idea that I check. So you see how I pull these limbs out of here and they all kind of overlap the other trees. I mean, obviously this tree is closer together, or closer to the viewer than some of these back here. So again, just keep working these in. Here, these trees might be more like a birch tree or something with a more erect limb pattern. So keep that in mind. You don't want to just do the same thing over and over and over. You want to give it some variety. Might be an evergreen over here with these, they get these limbs get so overladen with the weight of the pine needles that they droop a lot. So I do a few of those. This is too much, so blot that out a little bit. Too much again. There we go. We'll get this correct sooner or later. All right, so once again, this is just a monochromatic underpainting. I will come back later and do some color. I'm just trying to get some values established. So even though some of these other trees might be far away, they're not all going to show up light like that. Some of them are going to show up like this. So I have to go back, kind of paint in between. See, this one might disappear behind that one, then this one might come up. And even though it's smaller, it goes actually in front of this other tree. In fact, let's paint those as if they're part of the same. In fact, let's do a third part in here. Third part of the trunk. Bring that up. Do some horizontal. And so forth. And then if we're going to do that, we're going to say this tree actually reaches behind here, maybe comes out and goes behind some of these other. This is annoying me, so wipe it out. Do it again. Don't worry about it. Paint over it. All right, so let's see. We were putting this in here. Some other darks. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. And so once again, we might come over here and just do like a sapling. Not too much going on with that one. Background trees again. Thinner. And you play with the values. Sometimes they're light, sometimes they're dark, sometimes they're medium. You know what, before I get too far with that, I think I better put some background dark in here, as if we're looking into a forest and there might be other bits behind all of this. And you just have to kind of paint between everything that you've already done. It's good practice. I know everybody thinks that you want to paint the sky first and then your background and all that, but I don't work that way. I like to kind of work in between and create hide and seek lights and darks. I think it adds intrigue. And if you, for example, if I leave a little light there, maybe there's something else going on there, you know. Maybe it's a shrub that's picked up some ice and snow on it. And up here, I'm gonna start bringing that tree line down. I'm gonna leave sky up here. That's what we'll do for later. In fact, I'm just gonna paint this dark tree out. See, you can change your mind with oil paint. Darn it, I forgot my water. You can change your mind with oil paint because it stays wet for, well, in some colors it could be wet for a week, like red and whites. They really dry very slow. This umber color will be dry by tomorrow, especially because I put some medium in it. Oops, went too high with that. I don't want to, we'll leave it. It's all right. It's going to be all right. I can always paint over it a little bit with some sky color if I'm so inclined. Yeah, I know I should have done this first, but you know, hey, such is life. I think I'm going to blot this one out entirely. Make it a little easier. Oops, lost a tree. Forgot one was there. All right, so now it's back. So again, painting in between. I just wiped that same tree out again. See, I don't pay attention. I just paint. So we'll come back and put it once again back in. And then this other one that I blotted out, little sapling, I'm going to come back with my little rubber tool. See how nice that is? Put it back in with a light rather than a dark. Okay, so continuing westward. We just keep on going over here. I want to stay a little lower over here. I'm gonna swoop down, and then I'm gonna go back up about like that. So we'll paint our little line here. Imaginary line right here in between. I'm going like this. Connect right there. There we go. See how I saw that? See how I imagined that? Try not to paint over the trees. All right. This is the way the old masters used to work, where you establish all your light and dark values over a toned ground. And then you come back later with varying types of paint thick, thin. It's said that Rembrandt, for example, actually mixed sand in with his paint to get a nice thick texture so he could pile on the highlights. So that's about what I want. I do not like, still don't like this part that came up too high, so I'm gonna rub that out, clean up that tree a little bit. Something like that. Now, some of this larger tree, I want it to come down a little bit more into the foreground. And maybe, I will leave those because I'm gonna go ahead and put another or a few more trees. For example, if I see an area, I like all of that, so I'm gonna say, if I see an area I don't like, kind of hard to know where you want to put something else, but I think I still have to put something over here, like a nice dark like this. Give myself some medium and just go for it. Okay. And this is a closer tree, so I'm gonna kind of put in like that, and maybe another one like this. You see they lean a little bit. Probably gonna put a third one in like this. And I know I'm losing some of the stuff I liked before, but you know, you can't, you just can't be married to it. You know, you gotta allow yourself to some give and take with these things, and sometimes you come out the better for it. See that? See all that depth? Because you've got the darks, the lights, the medium trees here and there. And then over here, I'm going to try to see a few of these darks in between. So I'm using this square brush, but I'm using it sideways so I can get a thin line. Don't want to come down too far because this tree is back. But then I still feel the need for one more. I'm going to do another dark one over here to kind of frame or contain the right side of the painting like that. And then again, maybe one more just to in the front here, just like that. Come down far, make it a little wider. There we go. Come back in, give yourself some suggestion of these limbs. Layers. That's what I would say we're doing. We're building up all these layers. And all this will be my guide for what I do next. I'm concentrating. Don't expect me to talk all the time. I always have these little broken, if that's a pine tree, or really so many kinds of trees, they have these little broken bits where the limbs used to be, but no longer are. Okay, I think I can live with that. Let's see, do I want to put, these will probably get obliterated later, but every now and then I like to put little bits like this where you have these saplings grow out, sometimes near the trunks. Baby trees. Maybe just a few of these suggested trees in the background once again. Okay, so I think that's about it for this lesson, and I will come back when that's dry another day and do yet another video. Thank you for watching.